Hello children, welcome to grade 6 mathematics lesson. Today we are going to learn the 14th lesson, that is types of numbers and number patterns. I am Himashi Gamage from Anand Palika Vidyalaya Colombo 10 and today I am going to teach you the lesson. Before moving to the lesson, I want you to know what you are going to learn after studying this lesson. By studying this lesson, you will be able to identify odd numbers, even numbers, prime numbers, composite numbers, square numbers, and triangular numbers among the whole numbers, and identify number patterns formed by the above types of numbers. Right, now have a look at this. What can you see here? There are 4 balls, isn't that so? Now I'm going to separate these 4 balls into groups of 2. Okay, now I'm separating these balls into groups of 2. And we could separate those 4 balls into groups of 2 without having any remainder. That means I could divide 4 completely by 2. Or else we can say 4 is completely divisible by 2. Therefore, I can say when a whole number is divided by 2, if the remainder is 0, the number is an even number. So 4 is a whole number. We could completely divide it by 2. That means the remainder of it was 0. Therefore, I can say 4 is an even number. So we can define even numbers as the whole numbers which can be completely divisible by 2. Right. Now, what are the other even numbers you know? That means the whole numbers which can be completely divisible by 2. That means we can divide those numbers by 2 and the remainder is 0. Yes, we can go for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Likewise, it continues. Isn't that so? So now you know what even numbers are. So we'll consider another number. Right. Now how many balls are here? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls. Isn't that so? So once again, I'm going to group them to the groups of 2. We'll see whether we can group them completely. Right, what has happened? One ball is left. Therefore, I can say when we divide 5 by 2, the remainder is 1. That means I can't completely divide 5 by 2. Therefore, I can say 5 is an odd number. Why? If we can't divide a whole number completely by 2, or else we can say when you divide a whole number by 2 and if the remainder is 1, therefore we can say that is an odd number. So once again, we'll define what odd numbers are. When a whole number is divided by 2, if the remainder is 1, then the number is an odd number. So, what are the other odd numbers you know? The odd numbers that you have gone through? Yes, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. Likewise, you can mention any number of odd numbers. Isn't that so? So I'll repeat once again. When a whole number is divided by 2 and then the remainder is 1, that means that number is an odd number. Right. Now you know what odd numbers are as well. Next, we are going to see whether the whole number is even or odd by considering the digit in the ones place. That means when a larger number is given, it's very time consuming to divide the number by 2 and check whether it's odd or even. Therefore, we are going to use a small method to easily find whether the given number is odd or even. So what should we do? Have a look at this. If the ones place consists of 0, 2, 4, 6 or 8, that whole number can be considered as an even number. That means if you are going to have an even number as the digit in the ones place of the given number, that means the given number is an even number. We'll go for some examples. My first number is 54,254,260. There you can see the digit in the ones place is 0. Since 0 is an even number and 0 is included there in our list above, therefore I can say 54,254,260 is an even number. Next we have got 26,698,262. Once again, the digit in the ones place is 2 and that is an even number. Therefore, we can say 26,698,262 is an even number. Next, 254,333,254. So, the digit in the ones place is 4 and that is an even number. Therefore, I can say 254,333,254 is an even number. Next, 25,586. So, the digit in the ones place is 6. Therefore, I can say 6 is an even number. So, 25,586 is also an even number. Finally, 254,078. So, the digit in the ones place is 8. Therefore, I can say 8 is an even number. So, 254,078 also should be an even number. Next, we are going to find whether the given number is an odd number or not. For that, have a look at this one. If the ones place consists of 1, 3, 5, 7 or 9, that whole number can be considered as an odd number. That means there also we have to have a look at the digit on the ones place. So the digit in the ones place is an odd number. Therefore, I can say the given number is also an odd number. So we'll move on to some examples. Have a look at these numbers. 54,254,261. Next I have got 26,698,263. Next I have got 254,333,255. Next we have got 25,587. Finally, we have got 254,079,000. So we'll have a look at the digits in the ones places. So in our first number, the digit in the ones place is 1. In the second number, that is 3. In the third number, the digit in the ones place is 5. In the fourth number, that is 7. And in the last number, the digit in the ones place is 9. So 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 all are odd numbers. Therefore, I can say here I have mentioned all odd numbers. That means 54,254,261, that is an odd number. 26,698,263, that is also an odd number. 254,333,255, that is also an odd number. 25,587 and 254,079, those two are also odd numbers. So after going through these methods, I can say when you have a look at the digit in the ones place of a given number, if the digit is an even number, that means the given number also an even number. But if the digit in the ones place of the given number is an odd number, therefore the given number also should be an odd number. So I think you have got the lesson correctly. So we are going to check whether you got it correctly. So have a look at this. Now I am going to give you a question. We'll go through the question first. Write whether each number below is an even number or an odd number. So I'm going to give you some numbers. So using the method that I have taught you, you have to tell me whether these numbers are even numbers or odd numbers. We'll take one by one. 5,575,374. So we have to have a look at the digit in the ones place. So there the digit in the ones place is 4. Therefore, I can say 4 is an even number. So 5,575,374 also should be an even number. Second one, 284,235. So there the digit in the ones place is 5. 5 is an odd number. So I can say 284,235 should be an odd number. Third one, 788,257,366. There, the digit in the ones place is 6. 6 is an even number. Therefore, I can say 788,257,366 should be an even number. Finally, 27,355,245,263. It's a long number, isn't it so? In the first term, you have learned how to read these numbers. I think you can remember it by now. So there, the digit in the ones place is 3. So we know that 3 is an odd number. Therefore, I can say 27,355,245,263 should be an odd number. So I think you also got the answers correctly. Isn't that so? By now, you know how to find whether the given number is odd or even. Next, we are going to consider about adding even numbers and odd numbers together. Here, actually, we are not going to consider how to add two numbers together. Here, we are going to consider which number is going to obtain by adding odd numbers and even numbers. So we are going to do it as a small activity, or we can consider it as a small game as well. Now, can you see some shoes here? Now, first I have mentioned a pair of shoes. So that indicates even numbers. That means there's a pair. That means two shoes are there. Next, there's only one shoe. That means half a pair. That means that indicates odd numbers. So using these shoes, we are going to do this small activity or this small game. So have a look at this. So I'm going to get an example. I'm going to add 4 and 2 together. 4 plus 2. That is equals to 6. So I'm going to indicate this using my shoes. Have a look at this. 4 means 2 pairs of shoes. That means there we have got only pairs. That means 4 should be an even number. Plus 2 means 1 pair of shoes. That means 2 is also an even number. So we'll have a look at the answer. There we have got 3 pairs of shoes. So 6 is also an even number. So here we have added two even numbers together. As the result, we got another even number. So I can say when we add any two even numbers, the result is also an even number. Right. We'll move on to another example. This time, what's going to happen? 4 plus 3 equals 7. So once again, I'll indicate these values using my shoes. 4 means 2 pairs of shoes. So we have got only pairs. That means 4 is an even number. Plus 3. That means there I have got 1 pair and a half a pair. That means 3 is an odd number. Equals 7 means I have got 3 pairs of shoes and 1 half a pair. That means 7 is also an odd number. So here what has happened? I have added even number to an odd number. The result is also an odd number. Therefore, I can say when an even number and an odd number are added together, the result is an odd number. Right, we'll consider another one. 5 plus 3 equals 8. So we'll represent those using our shoes. 5 means there we have got 2 pairs of shoes and a half a pair. That means it's an odd number. Plus 3 means 1 pair of shoes and a half a pair. Once again, 3 is also an odd number. Equals 8 means we have got altogether 4 pairs of shoes. Isn't that so? Therefore, 8 is an even number. So here I have added two odd numbers together. As the result, I got an even number. So I can say when two odd numbers are added together, the result is an even number. Now we'll get all four together. 4 plus 8 equals 12. That means Even number plus even number equals another even number. Second one, 4 plus 5 equals 9. That means even number plus odd number equals an odd number. Next, 1 plus 6 equals 7. 1 is an odd number, 6 is an even number, 7 is an odd number. Therefore, odd number plus even number, the result is an odd number. Finally, 3 plus 5 equals 8. 3 is an odd number, 5 is also an odd number, 8 is an even number. Therefore, odd number plus odd number equals an even number. Now, looking at this chart, we can come to some conclusions. What are those? When you add two even numbers together, the result also should be an even number. When you add two odd numbers together, once again the result should be an even number. But when you add an even number with another odd number, the answer is an odd number. Once again, when you add an odd number with an even number, once again the answer is an odd number. Therefore, if we are going to add two same kinds of numbers together, that means even or odd, the result is always even. So to check whether you have got it correctly, we'll go to some questions. So this is my question number 2. Let us state whether the answer is an odd number or an even number without simplifying. So I'm going to give you some additions. You cannot simplify, but just looking at the numbers, you have to tell me whether the answer is going to be odd or even. So we'll go for the questions. First one, 26 plus 35. Now we know that 26 is an even number since 6 is an even number. Then 35. Since 5 is an odd number, we know that 35 is an odd number. So even plus odd, we know that the result should be an odd number. Next one, 27. Is it even or odd? Since 7 is an odd number, we know that 27 also an odd number. Then 24. Yes, it is an even number. Since it can be completely divisible by 2, we know that it's an even number. So odd number plus even number, we know that the result should be an odd number. Next one. 78 plus 36. So what can you say? 78, yes, that's an even number, plus 36, that is also an even number. So we are going to add two even numbers together. So ultimately the result is also an even number. Finally, 355 plus 263. Since 5 is an odd number, we know that 355 is also an odd number. Since 3 is an odd number, we know that 263 is also an odd number. So here we can say odd number plus odd number. Previously we have discussed when you add two numbers in the same kind, the result is an even number. So here odd number plus odd number, the result should be an even number. Right? Now I think you got the lesson clearly. Next we are going to subtract odd numbers and even numbers. Now we know about addition. Now we are going to learn about subtraction. We'll go for some examples. 8 minus 6 equals 2. So we know that 8 is an even number, 6 is also an even number, finally 2 is also an even number. Therefore, I can say even number minus even number, the result is also an even number. Next, 8 minus 5 equals 3. So 8 is an even number, 5 is an odd number. Here we have subtracted an odd number from an even number. So the result is 3, that is also an odd number. So I can say even number minus odd number equals odd number. Next one. 7 minus 2 equals 5. So 7 is an odd number, 2 is an even number. So odd number minus even number, the result is 5, that is also an odd number. Therefore, I can say odd number minus even number, the result is an odd number. Finally, 9 minus 5 equals 4. So 9 is an odd number, 5 is also an odd number. Therefore, it becomes odd number minus odd number. The result is 4, that is an even number. So I can say odd number minus odd number, the result is an even number. Here also we can analyze. When you subtract even number by another even number, then the answer is also an even number. When you subtract an odd number from another odd number, then the answer is also an even number. But when you subtract an odd number from an even number, the answer is an odd number. When you subtract an even number from an odd number, once again the answer is an odd number. Next, we'll move on to another question. Then we can have an idea whether you got the lesson correctly or not. Right. Write the answer is an odd number or an even number without simplifying. Right. We'll go for the questions. First one, 57 minus 34. Right. Now we know that 57 is an odd number. 34 is an even number. So it's like odd number minus even number. So what should be the result? Yes, as you have done previously, odd number minus even number, the result should be an odd number. Second one, 84 minus 35. So 84 is an even number, 35 is an odd number. So it's like even number minus odd number. What did we got last time? We got it as an odd number. Therefore, odd number minus even number, the result should be an odd number. Next. 788 minus 366. So 788 is an even number since 8 is an even number. So 366 is also an even number. So it's like even number minus even number. So as we have learned previously, even number minus even number, the result should be an even number. Last one, 355 minus 263. So 355 is an odd number, 263 is also an odd number. Now here it's like odd number minus odd number. As we have learned previously, odd number minus odd number should be an even number. Therefore, the result should be an even number. Now, next we are going to summarize the things that we have learned under addition and subtraction of odd and even numbers. then it will be easy for us to by heart them. That means it will be easy for us to keep those things in our mind. So, first thing, from odd and even numbers, an even number can be gained by adding or subtracting the same type of numbers. So when you add or subtract the same type of numbers, that means odd number plus odd number, even number plus even number, odd number minus odd number, even number minus even number. That means you are going to add or subtract the same type of numbers. Then the result is always an even number. An odd number can be gained by add or subtracting different types of numbers. That means if we are going to add an odd number and an even number together, the result is an odd number. Likewise, if you are going to add or subtract different types of numbers, then you can obtain an odd number as the result. Right. Then we are going to move on to multiplying odd numbers and even numbers. Now we have discussed about addition and then subtraction. Finally, we are going to discuss about multiplication. So we'll see how it's going to act. Have a look at the first example. 4 multiplied by 2 equals 8. 4 is an even number, 2 is also an even number. The result is 8, that is also an even number. Therefore, I can say when you multiply two even numbers together, the result is an even number. Second one, 2 multiplied by 5 equals 10. So, 2 is an even number, 5 is an odd number. The result is 10, that is an even number. So, I can come to a conclusion, even number multiplied by odd number, always the result should be an even number. Next one, 1 multiplied by 6 equals 6. So, there 1 is an odd number, 6 is an even number. The answer is also 6, that is an even number. So, when you multiply an odd number and an even number together, the result should be an even number. Finally, 3 multiplied by 5 equals 15. So, 3 is an odd number, 5 is also an odd number. Finally, the result is 15. That is also an odd number. So, I can say when you multiply two odd numbers together, the result is an odd number. Now, by looking at this chart, you can say when you multiply two odd numbers together, you can obtain an odd number as the result. Other than that, in all the other occasions, that means when you multiply two even numbers together, when you multiply one odd number by another even number, when you multiply one even number with another odd number, in all these three cases, you can have an even number as the result. Right. Now we are going to use that knowledge in my fourth question. State whether the answer is an odd number or an even number without simplifying. Right. Now it's like the second and third question we have done. Right. Here also you cannot simplify. You have to just have a look at the given numbers, identify whether those are odd numbers or even numbers. Then you have to suggest whether the answer is going to be odd or even. Right, we'll move on to the questions. 57 multiplied by 34. 57 is an odd number, 34 is an even number. So odd number multiplied by even number, the result should be an even number. Next one, 284 multiplied by 35. 284 is an even number, 35 is an odd number. So when you multiply an even number by an odd number, we know that the result should be an even number. Third one, 788 multiplied by 366. So 788 is an even number since 8 is an even number. 366 is also an even number since 6 is an even number. Therefore, it's like multiplying two even numbers together. So the answer also should be an even number. Finally, 355 multiplied by 263. So 355 is an odd number. 263 is once again an odd number. So when you multiply two odd numbers together, the result should be an odd number. So likewise, we can easily provide the answers using the knowledge that you have obtained. Right. Now once again, we are going to summarize the things that you have learned under multiplication of odd and even numbers. So once again, it will be easy for us to by heart the things that we have learned by summarizing this. Have a look at this one. If an odd number and another odd number be multiplied, an odd number can be gained as the result. That means if we are going to multiply two odd numbers together, the result is also an odd number. The other three instances, except the above, an even number can be gained as the result. That means if you are going to multiply two even numbers together, if you are going to multiply odd number by an even number, if you are going to multiply an even number by an odd number, then in all three cases, as the result, you can obtain an even number. Now here comes the end of the first part of our lesson. Therefore, we'll summarize things that we have learned under the first part of our lesson. So first of all, we have learned about odd numbers and even numbers. We have defined what odd numbers and even numbers are. Then we have learned how to check whether the given number is an odd number or an even number. There I have told you that if the given number is completely divisible by 2, that means when you divide a given number by 2 and the remainder is 0, then that number is an even number. But if the given number is not completely divisible by 2 and the remainder is 1, that means if you divide the given number by 2 and the remainder is 1, therefore we can say that number is an odd number. Then we have learned that by looking at the digit on the ones place of the given number, you can identify whether the given number is odd or even. If the digit in the ones place of the given number is odd, therefore the given number is also an odd number. If the digit on the ones place of the given number is an even number, that means the given number is also an even number. Then we have learned about the patterns made by adding, subtracting and multiplying odd numbers and even numbers. There we discussed that when you add two odd numbers together or when you add two even numbers together, the result is an even number. When you add one odd number with another even number, the result is an odd number. Likewise, when you subtract one even number from another even number, the result is an even number. Or when you subtract one odd number from another odd number, the result is an even number. But when you are going to subtract an odd number from an even number, or else when you are going to subtract an even number from an odd number, then the result is going to be an odd number. Finally, we have discussed about the multiplication. There I told you that when you multiply an odd number with another odd number, the result is an odd number. Other than that, when you multiply two even numbers together, or when you are going to multiply an even number with an odd number, or when you are going to multiply an odd number with an even number, in all these three cases, as the result, you can obtain an even number. So that's it for today. I hope you got the lesson clearly. Hope to see you in the second part of the lesson. Till then, take care. Have a nice day.